Here.
I'm here with Chef Brother.
Yeah, brother.
This man tell me
I am aware that the People's Progressive Party does not want me as a leader.
Here.
The FBI is doing their investigation. Some aspect is coming back.
Wealth is not trickling down to the people of Guyana.
There will be additional questioning that is required. And that is, of course, I don't get involved in that.
Mohamed protect.
Yeah, brother.
It is important for Venezuela to understand that Guyana will not be bullied, threatened, or intimidated.
Hello, good morning.
Mohamed protect.
Here.
I'm here with Chef Brother.
Yeah, brother.
This man tell me
I am aware that the People's Progressive Party does not want me as a leader.
Here.
The FBI is doing their investigation. Some aspect is coming back.
Wealth is not trickling down to the people of Guyana.
There will be additional questioning that is required. And that is, of course, I don't get involved in that.
Mohamed protect.
Yeah, brother.
It is important for Venezuela to understand that Guyana will not be bullied, threatened, or intimidated.
Hello, good morning.
Mohamed protect.
Here.
I'm here with Chef Brother.
Yeah, brother.
This man tell me
I am aware that the People's Progressive Party does not want me as a leader.
Here.
The FBI is doing their investigation. Some aspect is coming back.
Wealth is not.
It is important for Venezuela to understand that Guyana.
Mohamed protect.
Yeah, brother.
It is important for Venezuela to understand that Guyana will not be bullied, threatened, or intimidated.
Hello, good morning. Good night, guys, and welcome to this special edition of Progress Report. You know, the news bus is coming out sometime in the new week, and that is to make sure we're addressing issues in lifetime. Like election time, the lies that get more elaborate, it's get crazy. Election time, right? It get crazier, even crazier, the lies. So this morning, Hannah Montana, Azreen's sister, the females in the Mohameds family advised, from somebody who's been around a lot of females, and sometimes a lot of females are very outspoken. But smart and outspoken is two different things. So smart females are outspoken. But most females are outspoken, are loud, right? In general, females are going to speak out. Not all females. I'm talking about outspoken people. So outspoken is not smart. But all smart people are outspoken. They're going to speak up anytime because they ain't talking all the time. Right? I break it down for y'all. It's not like when PNC doing numbers and you're confused, you know what's going on. For the outspoken females, they're not all smart. But all smart females are outspoken. That's how the thing is getting mixed up. Because they are in that group. Hannah Montana, the level of horror so far we've seen, it's skin deep. Take it light. Don't act smart. I have not seen any response that the Mohameds has ever done that's been beneficial to them. I have never seen one Uno. I mean, now we have to use English and Spanish. Not one. When speaking about the Mohammeds, we have to speak in Spanish and English. Because as we know, they're supported by the Maduro regime. Associates with, obviously with the intention of Maduro accessing Essequibo. I don't know what happened to the Essequibans. I see all them coming from Marucas and jumping up and this and that. I asked the question today, will Essequibians be coming to Demerara Waves as immigrants? Do they see themselves as becoming immigrants? So this morning, hear me this morning. I sleep all day, now I wake up, so y'all see with me. So today we've had the opportunity to see different news entities come out. Kaieteur come out with a story. So Mohamed's sister, Hannah Montana, now she is Guyana's Hannah Montana, just a shame blonde, dumb as fuck. Just the shame blonde. I think blonde girls are going like, wee, woo. A brunette is stupid now. So they got stupid brunettes too. Right? She's special kind of dumb. Girl, people just been listening to you because you're good looking. Don't get past and think you're fucking smart. It's a normal thing. Let me tell you something. Let me give you a scenario. Everybody, when you talk about a normal working day, you talk about prostitution, everybody like repulse. At nighttime, when the sun sets, everybody they're running through short streets for fuck them nice Spanish girl. But there's the limit of it. Just the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Nobody keeping them till the next day for carry them to the office and all them thing now. You know what I'm saying? When the night fall, we as human beings, yes. As a matter of fact, men be searching and all them thing now. Nobody ain't going daytime and say, this is my whore, I take this. Well, I want people got some psychotic banner. Right? But don't get mixed up because everybody watching at you. Yes. It's not a brain thing. You ain't got to put much thought into getting a fucking boner. And people don't realize that. When you see a nice girl, you just get harder. Nice and stupid. Anyhow. So people going about listening, yes, and shaking their head listening to it. This time is a boner to get, yes. You understand? Men are like that. They're not going to tell you. Because for the most part, we think with our dicks. You're thinking the whole day, you're thinking good. And you run into a good looking when you start fucking think. You understand? You stop think. You start blink. You stop think and start blink. That's how we operate. Right? Don't let nobody fool you. Yes, you're smart. The next one come and talk some because she studied. You're smart. No. Don't get confused. If people were to brand you, they just put bam, incubate it on your forehead and that's about it. You ain't got no other purpose. But as a Hannah Montana been singing song and all them things. Yeah. Nobody fucking cares. They're not talented. You want to see a talented woman? The English girl, the chubby English girl. When she sing them song, she got voice. You understand? You watch it, everybody else, they got wind their body and jiggle their bobby. You understand? It's not really talent. Why you believe they sell beer with a woman posts up at the side of beer. You ever see fucking banner going out for drink beer? How does that operate? Louise, in a group of we drinking beer. We really care for women, but what got we buying the beer? Somehow it's implanted in our head through a marketing process that women associated with this thing. Women is not beer drinkers. You don't find groups of women drinking a beer falling on. So what a woman with a bikini do inside of a beer poster? You understand? It's to attract us. This is the way of the world. Don't get confused with marketing, what has been instilled in us principally as culturally and everything else, and feeling is smart. Just hunker down. It's strange because it's not normal for Muslim. The women, just take a back seat, sit down. Come on, scunt after scunt you're talking. You is Guyana's Hannah Montana. And I'm telling you how men operate and how men think. You could come and talk where you want for talk. Vindi could talk for Ali, I could talk where you want for talk. I ain't fucking nothing but political correctness. Yes, everybody could come out. You see Vindi come out, the Adish time at Leonard Craig. Oh, my mama. There's so much things she never talk, but you know, she don't talk much. When she come out, she ran talk to. Take it like to this thing, buddy. And what happened is we there in this day and age where we try and forget equality. Yeah, gonna clean fucking rubbish bin too. Yeah, come, let me do serious, dangerous work. Yeah, let me send you for go up the bridge. You know, Chinese man fall off the bridge, you going back to China, we find him back on them now. Yeah, I don't know. Nobody, there was a woman that fall. Oh my God. Chinese man fall off the bridge. He could be to fucking China right now. For all we know, nobody cared. The bridge got built. Everybody hollering, Francis Bailey hollering, oh, load testing and this, and I'm not done fucking dead. We don't sacrifice one. They got some little rails there calculating, You making joke. Them rails can change very fast. Watch laugh. Within the first year the bridge got there, them rails can change to big high rails. I kid you not. I kid you not. Adele is the girl. Adele is a woman with talent. Adele wear a dress, Adele could cover her head from head to toe. And you listen to Adele music, it's like, whoa. Hannah man, jiggle it, jiggle your body, jiggle your body, you know? Harlem scunt, come on, beer scunt to doing. Where you believe going on? You gotta whine your crotch. Yes, you ever see Adele do that? Adele is a woman with talent. And it's that race that had the older black women who had beautiful voices. Yeah, them got talent. Let Nicki Minaj or one come out with too long Bobby and sing a song and see what happen. Or the body looking droopy. Who going to see that? It's a perverted world we living in. If Adele singing and she was coming from her head to toe, you didn't know who's you listen to your voice. It's the. Them rest of fucking them the wrong right. Oh, the single lady, she marched your whole fucking life. Yes, and riling up people that got them doing a set of scunt. And now Hannah Montana in fucking Guyana. Hannah Montana. You cover your face and things and talk about it. There is a big skull talk in there. You understand? No. She wrote to OFAC Aretha Franklin, yeah. Aretha Franklin. Tina Turner, well, she did a little while and the dancer, but Tina Turner had no sort of body. People always look at Tina Turner for her body. Tina Turner looked like a cockroach. But she had a beautiful voice. She was a, you know? Yeah, hyper. She did know coming into the rock age. You understand? Yeah, Tina Turner, they had no sort of body. It's not body we is looking at Tina. Although she was dressing wild and crazy, she was just acting out. You understand? Somebody saying what? Julian Schumann. People actually listen to this person. Welcome, welcome. So there's a difference between thanking you for being here and welcoming you. We welcome the low lives and the hungry bellies. Yes. I'm actually the most listened to person in the Caribbean. Consistently. You remember the numbers got to be consistent. You can't just... Is it going on there? People seeing this shit? Or is I seeing it on the screen? We're going on here. The lighting is fairly bright. I don't know. We can... So this is a email received from OFAC by Guyana's Hannah Montana. Right? And it states, thank you for your query. So we got it printed good. So this is the original email. I'm showing you the content that I do over. Right? This is the actual content in that letter. But I'm showing you the actual document. And this came from, this actually was a message to, and if you see it, the doctor or the, what do you call it, the blind out the emails and all these things. Because they're using a lobbying firm. So the lobbying firm made a request to OFAC. So the center of the discussion we're having here tonight is sanctions brought against the Mohameds and how it affects everybody else in clearing up. His sister, who's Guyana's Hannah Montana, if you don't understand what that means, it's just, she doesn't have blonde hair, but she's as fucking dumb as a blonde. That's not a running joke. It's a matter of fact. We know that blondes are not too, you know, mentally developed in general. So when somebody sees a blonde, they are smart blondes. You got a few blondes in the White House now, right? You got a few blondes that are smart. But by far, they're only 1%. 1% of them are of a certain level not smart. I don't think they're smart blondes. I don't think. But educated and so on. So Hannah is the Hannah Montana of Guyana. She's one of the Mohameds, right? No. That's everybody knows. You say it's dumb as a blonde. And, you know, fucking joke. They're special. They're special. So this was the corresponding email received as a result of, and Hannah put this on her page this morning. And really the discussion here is how everybody came out in the big numbers and they support this thing like this. He explains something. Well, today you realize Kaieteur News is paid by the Mohameds. You realize Stabroek News is paid by the Mohameds. I can't make up this thing. You got, so me telling you the story yet. Me give you all the email yet. I go into the stories, the different stories. Here what Demerara Waves say. OFAC can punish non-citizen person for providing material support to sanction individuals. Political party members possibly exposed if doing business with sanctions person. This we heard from Demerara Waves. Bear in mind, all of these stories are from the same document. Okay, so the Department of Traditional Mohamed Babason, Presidential Aspirant, unless except or otherwise authorized by a general or specific license from OFAC. Now, all of these people, Demerara Waves read the same document, hear what this said. This ain't talking in their favor. Demerara Waves read the same document. Kaieteur News read the same document. Stabroek News read the same document. And all encountered a different fucking story. And Garden Mosley and Travis Chase play like they walk him in the middle. You got Travis Chase. Travis Chase will post back the thing now. Right? So this is one. This is what Stabroek News had to say about the same story. No need to close accounts of persons associated with sanctioned individuals. OFAC. Now bear in mind, me telling you the story, I'm telling you how they write from one letter. The different stories that came out of one letter. Now I want you to remember this. No need to close accounts of persons associated with sanctioned individuals. OFAC, dash OFAC. Stabroek News put it out the day OFAC said that. No need to close accounts of persons associated with sanctioned individuals. Everybody get a different story. Demerara Waves. OFAC can punish non-US persons for providing material support to sanctions individuals. Political party members possibly exposed if doing business with sanctions persons. This is the same thing Demerara Waves bring out. Everybody see a different story in this one fucking document, by. It's mass confusion. Chronicle. You don't got Kaieteur News up here for me? Kaieteur News is here. News source. Win wants banks to restore candidate account following correspondence from OFAC, suggesting that the correspondence was positive for OFAC. News source. Garden Mosley. Walking a thin line, but still that was scant. Chronicle. Non-US persons could face sanctions for providing material support to OFAC restates. I think you got two Chronicle here, but you didn't have a Stabroek. Hold on, Kaieteur. Everybody got a different story. Hear this one. OFAC says in response to query, US banks would not violate sanctions for maintaining accounts of non-sanctioned members. Everybody get a different story. Now, let me go to the actual story. This is the document that came in. I break it down here. Let me go through. As you noted in recent correspondence to the Office of Foreign Asset Control, OFAC, on June 11th, 2024, OFAC sanctioned Azadeen Mohamed pursuant to Executive Order EO 13818, which builds upon and implements the Global Magnitsky Human Rights Accountable Act. The implications of transactions with a political party led by an individual sanctioned by OFAC or with members of such a political party will depend on whether the sanctioned individual is involved in the transaction. For example, U.S. financial institutions will not violate sanctions for maintaining the account of or processing transactions involving a non-sanctioned organization, a non-sanctioned member of that organization solely because another person of that organization is sanctioned. However, U.S. financial institutions will be prohibited from engaging in such transactions if the sanctions individual has an interest in the account or transaction. However, it explained. I'll read the whole thing for you and then I'll go back. unless exempt or otherwise authorized by a general specific license from OFAC. Transactions with sanctioned persons by U.S. persons are generally prohibited, and non-U.S. persons could also face sanction risk for certain activities involving sanctions persons, such as providing material support to them. Kaieteur News totally missed this. Stabroek News totally missed this. Fucking Garden Mosley and see this. All these stories come from the same document. Mohamed put out. Let me complete reading it for you, and then I will go into details. You got me mixed up here, boy. You got me totally mixed up here. Oh, my mama. Or I mix it up myself. So that's the first part. As you think, this is the last part of it. You got them wrong. Get them wrong? So I could go back here and get the second. Okay. So the Dear OFAC complainer writing to seek your guidance and clarification and parameters of. Yeah, you got it wrong, man. You got it wrong. This is when they wrote to them. You mix it up. We kindly ask that OFAC confirm the prohibiting. This is when you got it wrong. It's gonna hurt me fucking head now. This is when they write to seek the clarification. Show. So this is when they're writing to seek the clarification. Then gonna mix it up in the studio here. What we got here. The implications on a political party led by an individual are written, such as political party would depend on whether, as you know, this is the second one to. Yeah. This, remember, this got two, man. This got two. How many only got one here? This whole thing is one. Let me see how you did it. Wow. Okay. Well. Let's see the document. I want to make sure. Support to them. Oh, I could. And I shot me out somebody back to me. I tell you got it out? Okay. So it is one, but I didn't realize I read out the whole thing so fast. You know me with my reading problem, like PNC with the maths problem. Critic boy, I thought all the time you talking plenty, you can at least read, boy. Watch over the tape. All right. So if there are particular facts, scenarios at issues, we encourage the relevant financial institution to reach out directly to OFAC through the OFAC complaint hotline. Please be advised that OFAC will not direct any entity to conduct activities that undermines its policies and procedures. So let me tell you, let me clear up something for y'all. Keep it up there. Yeah, I could read that. Let me clear up something for y'all. Let me explain to y'all the connections. Banks in Guyana has to constantly assess the risk. It is not to say banks are complete void of people using them for corrupt practices and money laundering and so. No. But banks have to follow certain regulations to make sure it doesn't get out of hand in the operation. OFAC sanctioned the Mohameds. Nobody who doing business or associated with the Mohameds could do business with any bank. Here why, and I asked it earlier. I'm going to go through it now. Right? The Mohameds, right? The Mohameds write to OFAC through their lobbying firm, Write to OFAC. OFAC send back this document. Stabroek News, write it song nice for Mohamed. Kaieteur News song nice for Mohamed. Garden Mosley there, wishy-washy. You're realizing now who the paid media. Because I want you to read the story, read the letter. Me gonna make common sense out of it for you. As you noted in recent correspondence to the Office of Foreign Asset Control on June the 11th, 2024, OFAC sanctioned Azadeen Mohamed pursuant to Executive Order EO 13818, which builds upon and implements the Global Magnitsky Human Rights Accountability Act. The implications of transactions with a political party led by an individual sanctioned by OFAC or with members of such political party will depend on whether the sanctioned individuals involved in the transaction. The implications of transactions with a political party led by a sanctioned individual, an individual sanctioned by OFAC, or with members of such party would depend on whether the sanctioned individual is involved in the transaction. Now, tell me, Mohamed listed people as candidates in his political party that he formed. At this election time, Mohamed and his candidates are campaigning. How do banks know? How would any bank know when Mohamed gave them 500,000, when Mohamed gave Brian Max money and buy car for Brian Max and do things for Brian? How will the bank know it is Mohamed's money? The bank can't take the risk to find out. So what they do, they cut you off before they're placed at risk. Like, you understand what's going on? You don't wait till Mohamed implicates you. I will read it again for you. The implications of transacting with a political party led by an individual sanctioned by OFAC or with members of such a political party will depend on whether the sanctioned individuals involved in the transaction. Mohamed got get short. He got buy things, he got do different things. How do you know who? Anybody put Mohamed's sanction list. On Mohamed's candidate list, sorry. How we know where they getting their money from? Now, let's go to Google again. What does TRANSACTION mean in? What does transaction mean in banking terms? Look here. A bank transaction is a record of money that has moved in and out of your bank. When you have costs associated with your business, for example, rent, office space, the payment for these will be out of your bank or transaction. What do transaction mean in banking? It expounds here. It expands. The meaning is the bank transaction is any money that moves in or out of your bank. Types of transactions include cash withdrawal or deposit. If Mohamed give you money, you put it in the bank as a candidate, and he give you money and you put it in the bank, you put the bank at risk. If people find out And when a man like me find out, me report it to OFAC, implicate the bank and implicate everybody, yes. Mohamed buy a car for Brian Max and he paid cash to this auto dealer because they're doing cash thing. When the auto dealer's question and say yes, one of the boys came over and brought cash. The vehicle was delivered to Brian Max. So when you want to know how, if you think you could keep it a secret, not because it's a secret, the bank needs to be part of it. You understand? Not because it's a secret, the bank needs to be a part of it. So what does transaction mean? It's not limited to. Types of bank transactions include cash withdrawal, deposit, check, online payment, debit card, charges, wire transfer, and loan payment. All of that is transaction. Right? All of that is transactions. When a customer of the bank becomes a candidate of, is not doing business for Mohamed yet, you understand? OFAC can't come and explain to you the interpretation. Once you became a candidate of Mohamed, you became a risk factor. Like you understand, the bank does get rid of people who they think is a risk. You ain't gonna know. They got certain guidelines they follow. Money coming and you ain't got proof of income. The bank has been closing accounts for people who they suspect to be a risk long before Mohamed gets sanctioned. Y'all don't understand the financial laws. Y'all don't understand the day when we was under the PNC, we was getting barred from doing things outside. Foreign currency was hard to get. Y'all don't know why it was that. Mohamed didn't get sanctioned yet. Why the world is looking at we different? Because we didn't conform with the standards, the international standards for banking laws. Because we didn't conform to them. The bank been closing people accounts long before Mohameds get sanctioned. Based, not on nothing illegal to do, based on the assumption that they're a risk. If you can't go to the bank and clear up and say, yo, this is where I get me money from. This is where I got to show risk. You got to show everything in and out. Banks today's date, up to today's date, every individual got to do financials on a yearly basis. Businesses got to do financials once you move in a certain amount of money. When you go and open a bank account, you can't say you're going to bank and I don't know why you can bank. You have to do projections. When we open Tupuy, I tell them the activity in the account will be somewhere between 500 million to $1 billion a year. Because that is what we were going after. Why you need to tell the bank that? The bank needs to deal with people who are predictable. Like me now going. Me was still Mohamed friend. And he bring it, he tell me hold this money, put it in your account. And I say I get it as a result of contract. And then I write a check to he. And say I'm lending him this money. He end up with some legit money lander. Simple. Simple. OFAC back you up against a wall of Carnegie. Want to make sure he don't get to use his proceeds. What do you believe was the purpose? No, they use this and bring it out like OFAC talking for them. Let's continue. Hear what it said. The implications of transacting with a political party led by an individual sanctioned by OFAC or with members of such political party will depend on whether the sanctioned individual is involved in the transaction. For example, U.S. financial institutions would not violate sanctions for maintaining the account of or processing a transaction involving a non-sanctioned organization or non-sanctioned member of that organization solely because another member of the organization is sanctioned. Now, US banks ain't got no problem. US banks ain't got no problem. That's what they're saying. That's what this whole premise set upon. But how does a bank know if the money that you're bringing in, you're going on Mohamed candidate list? How does the bank know that your money you're bringing in is not Mohamed money? When Mohamed goes out to campaign, who is financing the campaign? Where does the finance? Can Mohamed produce documents? Is Azembash financing Mohamed's campaign? Who is financing? Would Mohammed come and say Tamis Jagmahan is financing his campaign? Who is financing the Mohammed's campaign? Where does the money come from? When they're paying the boat people, Mohamed can't be everywhere at every time. When Marc de France is going to different communities and doing different things, who pays that bill? Marc de France is in debt. He doesn't have any money. Who pays that bill? If Mohammeds give you the money, you take some of that money, put it in a bank. You put the bank at risk. In the interest of negating the risk, people don't just check the whole list and calculate. Nothing to do with none of them people. We continue. For example, U.S. financial organizations, non-sanctions members of the organization solely because the members of the organization is sanctioned, right? One member, they're saying they ain't got sanction other people. But that's what they're saying. What they're actually doing is different. Why would they select Prime Minister visa? However, U.S. financial institution will be prohibited from engaging in such transaction if the sanctioned individual has an interest in the account or transaction. Let me read it again for y'all. However, U.S. financial institutions would be prohibited from engaging in such transactions if the sanctioned individual has an interest in accounts or transactions. How would the bank know if Mohamed has an interest? Look at the risk Mohamed put people in the other day when he transferred $35,000 for smelly smell lawyer. That lawyer has now been put at risk. Smelly smell lawyer is now being investigated. This whole thing will blow up with Amir and all them thing there. Is because they're trying to cover up something out of all of this joke and fun. Let me tell you, out of all this thing what happened, all these revelations as these video, 5 people, 2 were arrested, 3 wanted. As Mbashin see the start of the whole investigation yet, because he accept these things. There's certain criminalities that he accept. We reach into die yet. Out of all this thing, the big thing is not a hearsay. It's not a he say, she say. Melissa Holder got $35,000 from Mohameds. And there was a transaction that happened from somebody in Guyana to her lawyer in the States. Or to somebody in the States, and the money was given to her lawyer. It is now a matter of public record. Then when all she started exploding and talking about things and coming out and fucking saying things and now she need rest, is because that was exposed. And I'm making sure the evidence reaches the relevant authorities that when she case comes up, whenever that is, it will be there. You just gotta know the loopholes and how to forget. the information to the relevant authorities. Now, one of the reasons the Americans put sanctions on Azzedine Mohammed is because they realized that Azzedine Mohammed was smuggling gold for the Venezuelans. And the Venezuelan Maduro is the bigger fish they want to get. That is who they're trying to stifle. So all the people who's candidates who lose in the bank account and so, them are small fish. Now I'm listening to Kaieteur News, I'm listening to Stabroek News, and I'm calculating they didn't see these things. However, U.S. financial institution would be prohibited from engaging in such transactions if the sanctioned individual has an interest in the account or transaction. What does that mean? What if they have an interest in the account or transaction? What does that mean? If Mohamed needs to move money, can Mohamed live and survive and run an effective campaign? How does Smelly Smell get money? How does Hector Stout get money to do what he does for Mohamed? If Mohamed gives somebody some money, so put in your account and send it to Hector Stout or send it to Melissa Holder, that is him being a part of the transaction. It puts the bank at risk. Now here with the funny thing with the US bank becomes at risk. If the attorney had collected our money through a bank from somebody here, and that person can't give account for where they got 35,000 US from, or that person says Mohamed gave me for send the money, the local bank had opened itself to risk. It has an explanation to do. And if it can't adequately explain why it did what it did, they could be cut off from doing business with whatever bank they're doing outside. That is where the risk happen. American banks ain't got no time with what's going on in Guyana. It is when you open them up to risk. How does local banks become open up to risk? How does local bank negate the risk that comes with having candidates of Mohamed? How do they negate that risk? Candidates of the Mohameds being bank account holders, customers. How do they negate the risk? Odessa don't have a fucking job. Where she get money from? Why she needs a bank account to put what where? Kian Jabur to put what where? Francis Bailey, all them accounts being watched. When you get an influx of money, now where it coming from? Y'all all of the country they're bad. When Mark de France put in any money more into his account than what he gets paid at GPHC, where the fucking money come from? Y'all don't understand what's going on? These people are high risk.
Leaders of indigenous Amerindian communities, my respected leaders here from all across Region 9, before I go
Jesus
any further,
Christ.
I want to express to the family and to Region 9 our sympathies for a young couple who we learned lost their life and their baby in an accident today. We pray that their lives be comforted.
Sure, Rastafari. I gotta show you all this one here, boy. Since we done there and here. My God. Let me get this for y'all. We got a little deterrent here. This is big. Now I'm going to show y'all something. I'm going to show y'all something. They don't understand the risk. How the bank gonna know? You gonna tell them? People don't understand the risk that come in with associated with the Mohameds. What this one here? He don't have a fucking job. Where he's get money from? He there, I think, beating a woman because she asked her, he's paid for Mohameds. How he can get a bank account? Let me say this man go, doggy go for up the bank. How we can get a bank account? Where you can say money? Cause with them fucking money not coming from buddy. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This $10.5 million. Where he gets this money from? What fucking work he's do? Before he looked up at the Mohameds, he was a scammer. Y'all don't understand, this is a criminal fucking enterprise. How a bank is to know if you go and say I'm associated with the Mohamed? How the bank is to know you money coming from? Oh, that's a primus. Never had a fucking job in years. Where she get the money from? Where she deposit your money in the bank? If Mark de France put the exact amount of money every month. Here it is. If Mark de France put the exact amount of money every month in the bank that he works for, well then how the fuck he living? How does he live? How does he pay rent? How does he buy gas? If he put in money every month, well, $100,000 he working for, $300,000 he working for at Georgetown Public Hospital, and he put in the money every month in the bank, every month, and he touching the money. Well then how you living? How are you living? Where do you get money from to live? Tell me, show me your expenses and show me your savings. When you go to the bank, the regular person going to the bank, you can't bank all your money because the bank access. So what about all the different bills and so you got to pay? When you want to get a mortgage, your bank is assessed. When you go and say make $300,000 a month, they is assess what you could pay based on maybe 25 to 50% of your salary. Because you can't put your whole salary to paying bills. You gotta live and eat. Watch this here, some man. I want to share this with you guys. It's heartwarming.
Respected leaders,
Oh, download, ready to download.
respected
I
leaders.
just get this from Letem. This is, and again, just on the Letem Trail before the Prayara Bridge. Baby, mother, father, I don't know if all of them lost their life, but they were on a motorbike heading in the direction of Letem, and they came into contact with a bus and they lost their life, unfortunately. The president voice you hear is talking here, but look the turnout in Letem. Look the turnout.
Of indigenous Amerindian
Now here, Letem, you can't care nobody. Like how there's care people, you know, Barbies people come from. Letem is the surrounding communities. People have to come from all over the surrounding. This is Letem Central. This is a township of Letem. You understand?
communities, my respected leaders here from all across Region 9. Before I go any further,
Watch at that boy. My God. Somebody show me.
I want to express to the family and to Region 9 our sympathies for a young couple who we learned lost their life and their baby in an accident today.
Now, for those of you who missed it, did you put in the accident in the folder? This is really sad. This happened on the Letem Trail. So this happened on the Letem Trail, right? This is the baby. This is, I don't know if they had on the helmets, but I know normally, oh my God. And them is right hard on these motorbikes. So this is the rider. The girl was said to be alive when the ambulance came to pick her, but this was the baby. Obviously, baby hit his head hard.
Oh God, sad boy.
And I think we got some other footage of the bus and thing.
People, yeah. We're on the scene. The down there at the hospital. Here's where the bus end up. Motorbike.
And this is wrong a turn, eh?
Reports that the bike was on the wrong side. And baby died on the spot. I don't know the position of the woman and the man, but this is it.
Sad body head on. I ain't seeing no helmet here. Me ain't see no helmet
I
here.
don't know the position of the woman and the man, but
I ain't see no helmet
this is
here.
it.
I seen slippers, I seen everything else. I ain't seen helmet. Sad body. Condolences to the family. So we gotta put up some things tomorrow. Don't worry with here I'm telling you, y'all gotta learn. The Mohameds been trying to save their ass from the beginning of time. Why you listen to this? Why you listen to this?
Take a picture of the media carriage, you're gonna lose your visa. Bullshit, man, you know? I have a visa.
You'll be gone tomorrow?
A few moments later.
No, y'all remember this? You see this thing with it? Well, Hannah Montana trying to say, man, the bank account come back. Listen to me. These people not to be fucking trusted. And to know Mohammed didn't come out and say why they went to the Venezuelan embassy. These people have lied from the beginning. Now bear in mind, Mohammed problem in starting Guyana. Mohammed problem start outside of Guyana. Mohammed was found to be smuggling gold from Venezuela, a sanctioned country for Maduro, a sanctioned individual, smuggling gold through Guyana, with Guyana gold, smuggle it to America. That's where he problems are. He OFAC sanctions. He and his father and all the business. It is starting Guyana. At the time when he doing PPP and he is friend. Don't get mixed up. When the shit hit the fan, then Mohammed saying, no, you can't lose your visa if you're there with me. But
Take a picture of the media carriage, you're gonna lose your visa. Bullshit, man, you know? I have a visa.
You'll be gone tomorrow?
A few moments later.
no, this is the same individual here, she here. They tell people, no, your bank is okay. You can't get problem. Hear them here with bank accounts.
We would like to get into an incident that occurred today that we took note of earlier this morning, where a number of our candidates have received letters from the bank stating that they will be discontinuing business with them. And so
Now, everything that is being said by the government and every clear-minded law enforcement and everything that's being said about the Mohammeds is a matter of fact. The only people that are, no man, it can't be done, is the Mohammeds. And it escalates. This is what the ambassador, the US ambassador, had to say.
Concerned about Mr. Mohammed contesting the next election.
No. The US ambassador said this. Today in all the news, the United States ambassador spoke about grave concerns. Likened our situation could end up like Afghanistan. You ever been fucking Afghanistan? You know what's going on there? It's doggy dog. Them people eating dog. This is what the US ambassador said weeks ago. Why are we going back and forth with these people? I am telling you, everything I told you what will happen at Dessa. I told you what happened to Mohameds, that's why I stay away from them. I break the news about the sanctions. I dep on everything. I'm telling y'all everything. When y'all gonna learn? Mohameds will win seats in parliament come September the 1st. And from parliament, sometime in November, Mohammed will be going to the United States to serve time for his crime. When the indictments open for him. No questions asked. Why Mohammed don't come and tell you about the deal what the US give him for 2 to 3 to 5 years, depending on what they're willing to say or what they're willing to sign to? Would they come and tell you that? Mohameds never come and told you that they knew they were being sanctioned. Remember Mohameds hire a lobbying firm before they were sanctioned? Did Mohammed ever come and say, you know the US are investigating us? You know the Mohammeds have been investigated and knew they were being investigated for 15 years now? Do you know that the Mohammeds knew they were being investigated 15 years now? When Mohammed started the philanthropy, Azadin Mohammed started his philanthropy when he realized how a murder occurred and how his implication made him look bad. Look at when they started their real thing and they get in a politics they're doing for people or what they're doing. But it's 15 years now they've been investigating and they know. The people reach out to them. Reuters reach out to them and asking them questions. Reuters come together and take out a picture with Mohammed. And Mohammed never told us he was being investigated. Why the fuck you believe now he telling you the truth? They've been hiding all of their criminal entity. But it's not nothing new. You think Escobar told his people, bro, I do the world and I... No. Criminals go out to the end. You have people serving lifetimes in prison in the United States. People serving lifetime. They're not guilty. Not guilty. You have men who murdered women with a knife in their hand. If you ask them, not guilty. Y'all mixing up these people. They have been able because they have the money to confuse people. These people are fucking criminals. If I could have been friend with a man and not know that a man running a whole criminal enterprise, you believe that regular? You believe that regular? You ever heard the Mohammeds come out, boy, you thief-free business, I didn't know. Because I didn't know they were fucking criminals. They're such good criminals. I didn't know they were criminals. I didn't know that I associate people with amass considerable amount of wealth as a result of a criminal enterprise. I didn't know. Who you think? You think they're real easy? You think Azadin Mohammed is a walk in the park? He's fucking delusional. But even psychotic. But you know, you ever hear stories about psychopaths? A man cooking somebody in the house and eating people and all and feeding people. When you hear the stories of psychopaths, they're the nicest persons. If you hear stories about Pablo Escobar, Pablo was a nice part to give money and help people build ball field and so. But what? It's the same thing with the Mohammeds. A man collect money, Mark the France ain't got no fucking time. Once he could fuel his gambling habits, once Ali and Jagdeo could get a little money for keep afloat, he can talk wherever he got talk. Because he had, in any case, done in the same situation. In any case, you are done in the same situation. They know that. They understand that. You think Mike Francis Bailey want to change the world? Francis Bailey supports the bees. Something that really contributes to the world. He don't even fucking do the well. He want to get for himself. By nature, we are selfish people. Not like me, why coming in here and talk for? It's just the side eye there, I just don't want to see. I just don't want to live in a country where the country could fall apart. What the fuck I think? I got personal interest. Why come here? You think Jesus sent me to bring a fucking message to y'all? So much message he sent to y'all and y'all fucking send back and still there with the way y'all there. Why did he come himself and bring the message? Y'all send his gun back with spikes in it. You think I come from Jesus to bring a message here? I want a better country to live in. It's personal. I want. That's why I tell y'all, I experience, I'm transferring to you. Tell you. So in tune, you'll have a better country to live in. Where y'all think I come with a message? Y'all are lost fucking souls. No message from God can save y'all. I was 45 years of age. How long the first book there, the first testament? What could do that could change the world? Vindictiveness, evil. Eh? All I try to do is save me country. Me is a million people. Little bit of people. All I contributed to say, well, I did contribute. You believe this shit hit the funny I in here and fucking protesting with y'all? Oh God, watch your Venezuela. Fuck y'all. Me? I could go anywhere in the world and make money. You imagine me in New York City covering thing? Or me in Brazil? It take me 6 months to learn a fucking language and integrate myself in a society. Fuck y'all. I just the hey. It's personal. I see what your finale do. I see what Jagdeo do for build this country. This is me country. Why don't I play a role to develop it? Is that a message? It's personal. We are everybody come on. Oh, I want to save people. No, you feel good about trying to save people. Like Azadine, we call, oh no, I want to help. I just want to spend my money with y'all. Now that you get fucking caught with your pants down, now you want to spend your money with me? He tried to save himself. What is the driver, man? Don't come and tell you. I come in and tell you it's personal. The American ambassador said this weeks ago, and we still having discussions about. Hello, good night.
Hey, good night. Good night. In 2020, they had a man in Stanford started a 2020 cricket in the Caribbean, and he was money laundering. He's a Texas billionaire, and they caught up.
Was a Texas billionaire who's in jail now?
He's in jail now.
Yes. No, you're saying he is a Texas. I say he was a Texas billionaire.
Yeah. So now he's in jail. Same thing had to happen with Mohamed.
All right.
Right, he gotta go. Yep.
So today they come up with a fucking. Why you coming up with a election corner and they trying to push back? You believe Kaieteur News easy? You believe Stabroek News easy? Because as a result of reporting in Stabroek News and Kaieteur News make me suffer from fucking 2015 to 2020. Let tell you how it's gone. That's why it's so upset. $600 million. I ain't supposed to get them fucking views for no pump station. Because if you put together me viewership, Kaieteur News and Stabroek News and Islands can't catch it. They can't catch it by a fucking mile. I tell you about me viewership one time a day. And people don't lend me paper. Me is get 100,000 to or 300,000 views from one of my videos. Kaieteur News is sell per Sunday, the best day. 8,000 paper. When I hear Jagdeo tax $700 million for do ads and all, that means all is supposed to come to me. People just gotta go and buy a paper for Ghetto. If everybody done the give me the money. Let me put out the ads here. Here it is.
Concerned about Mr. Mohamed contesting by his elections, and if so, why?
Yes, we are concerned. Anytime the U.S. Department of Treasury OFAC sanctioned individual has the potential to become a member of government, that is concerning for us. It's problematic in multiple ways because the way that we as the U.S. government can interact with the government, we have to be very careful if that person is involved. Let's say we're on a certain committee, we would have to be very careful in working with that committee. We have to make sure that we didn't work with him specifically. So that's a bit of an issue, yes. And the other thing that concerns me a bit more, however, is that when you see an OFAC sanctioned individual become a part of an official within a government, it sends concern through the private sector of the United States. So you see U.S. companies often rethinking their relationships in the country. We saw it in Afghanistan, we've seen it in other countries as well. They sometimes look de-risk or to even just cut ties with the country. And we're in such a beautiful position.
Private sector, including of banks, look to de-risk and cut ties. Like, you understand? No fucking body, no financial organization ain't going to get a problem, then for somebody tell them you have a problem to remedy it. It don't work so. By the time they see the fucking problem coming, like how them banner gonna pick up a fucking gal, you know she's a cross. No, banks don't work so. Banks, you come and shoot the door and say it's a fucking cross, lock the door. Lock the door, that's a cross. Banks don't think with a dick. Like you see again, you know this girl is a fucking cross. Watch Amir and he fucking cross. He know the girl is a fucking cross. The girl try to divorce, he try to divorce, she treat them some scunt. There's always some fucking confusion there. You have a pelt scunt, she buying fucking rose for herself and that kind of mother scunt. You know his crosses in your fucking life. He's still there. Banks don't walk like that. He got one day to fight next day he and she got a fucking riding bike and so. Yes, sir. He can't help himself. Banks don't think with a fucking dick. As the Dean thing, the child mother go, Raja Khan come back, gonna fuck with Raja Khan, take out video Raja Khan thing, beaches thing, back to regular programming. Banks don't work like that. When the ambassador talk about the risk, they ain't taking no chances. Once you's a fucking problem, they get rid of you. Hear the ambassador saying.
We saw it in Afghanistan, we've seen it in other countries as well. They sometimes look to de-risk or to even just cut ties with the country. And we're in such a beautiful position.
Sometimes they look to de-risk. Well, you have a fucking see for yourself. Here's what I'm with you. Want to see what it means? Haiti, the airlines pull out the fucking planes. It ain't make no sense. Somebody fire some shot. Then it's important. Guyana is on the world map because of our oil reserves. But not because, like big jewelry. You come out with big jewelry. People watch this. Waterman is a big waterman, got enough gold. The world doesn't look at you that way. You don't calculate the meaning, but no fucking risk, man. You can't go to a country club. That's why you go certain places, you gotta dress a certain way. Because if you get the clothes for coming, how you getting in here, man? You go to a country club, you ain't got your fucking pants down and I know. You gotta act in a certain manner to be around here. Mohammed is a criminal. Anybody with Mohammed is listed, could affect you. They mightn't be criminals. But if you got a bank account, who the fuck else you gonna ask? Who you know? And you say you ain't his partner.
Right now, all these U.S. companies want to come to Guyana, and Guyana is welcoming so warmly all of these U.S. companies. And I don't want, if he were to become a member of the government, that to change. So that's a real concern that I have.
What about if he becomes a regular member of Parliament in the opposition? Is that still a concern?
Well, yes, he would still be a member of government, so that would be a...
This is what the U.S. ambassador said. What were the OFAC sanctions come back? They're trying to misinterpret with the OFAC sanctions. And did I read out everything in the OFAC sanctions? We said, unless except or otherwise authorized by general specific license for OFAC, transaction with sanctions persons by U.S. persons are generally prohibited. Non-U.S. persons could also face sanction risk for certain activities involved in sanctions, such as providing material support to them. Let me go to it again here. Unless, except or otherwise authorized by a general or specific license from OFAC, does OFAC saying, yes, you could do business with them? Like what they do with Chevron. It's a general license Chevron get for going to collect the oil from Venezuela. Venezuela is sanctioned, Maduro is sanctioned, but we give a general license because we know it's war. You know business that we collecting oil, right? Unless, except or otherwise authorized by a general specific license from OFAC, transactions with sanctions persons by U.S. persons are generally prohibited, and non-U.S. persons could also face sanction risks for certain activities involving sanctioned persons, such as provision of material support to them. This involves the bank right away. Here, laugh. Person associated providing material. What does material support mean? Let me know the vaguety thing today. What do material support means? Material support, any property, tangible or intangible, or service including currency, monetary instrument, or financial securities, financial services, lodging, training, export advice. Export advice. Charles Sogrim, Odessa Prime, all export. Once you're with Brian Max, come and say he's an advisor. On what? He could be an exporter of fucking madness. Listen to the export advice or assistance, safe houses, false documents, or identification, communication equipment, facility, weapons, lethal weapons, substances. All what Daggy do, you know, that's the primus. All what they fucking doing against sanction. Now, if you're affected, the bank thing is that their customer is a risk. It's not based on the customer. They know the customer get this money from Mohamed. It is in here. Not me, so. Unless, except, or otherwise authorized by a general or specific license from OFAC. Transactions with sanctions persons by U.S. persons are generally prohibited. And non-U.S. citizens could also face sanction risk for certain activity involving sanctions persons, such as providing material support to them. And material support is listed as set a thing. Advise. If I was to tell Mohamed how to do things. Non-U.S. persons. Why you believe Odessa visa get take? People don't understand. Like you can't get, indeed you can't get catch if you're in a photo with them. But you're now on a candidate list. What do you do as a candidate? What does Mark DeFrance do? This is in the letter that Hannah get. She posted the fucking thing up. She gave the papers. Well, Stabroek News and Kaieteur News and Travis Chase and Gard Mosley turned it for he, song nice for he. Just the one part was song nice for he. Like, go back to Stabroek News. Now you read this whole fucking thing. Let me do Stabroek News. No need to close accounts for persons associated with sanctioned individuals. Like read back the original document, man. Something fucking missing here. Something missing here. If there are particular, please be advised that will not direct any entity to conduct. Where part Stabroek News get that fucking piece from, right? You read this thing? Let me read it over again. Let me go right. This is the document itself, right? Because you could make a mistake and this one copy the wrong fucking thing because he said tell he left out the piece at the bottom. So they might got pieces left out. We got the original document here. Wahana Montana put for page. As a note in recent correspondence, I think, as a pursuant to executive order and bill, the implication of transaction with political parties leading to the thing involved in financial for maintenance and accounts of processing a transaction involving non-U.S. citizen and that of organization solely because another, for example, U.S. financial depend on whether non-members of organization solely because the member of that organization is sanctioned. However, U.S. financial institution would be prohibited from thing unless except otherwise the thing reach out to. Is what the fuck is this? Where Stabroek News get this story from? Where Stabroek News get this? No need to close accounts of persons associated with OFAC. It's the same thing that Stabroek News attack and I attack it. On Tuesday, required to query files and section. The correspondence said by this newspaper stated, correspondence seen by this newspaper, as you are noted in a certain correspondence as in which building, the implication of the, or it said, no, I want to know, wait, said this, no need to close accounts of persons associated with sanctions individuals. Watch it fucking this. I can't make up these things. And when you put a dash and say somebody says so, it really and generally supposed to be word for word. You imagine Stabroek News go out put a fucking limb here? Stabroek News go out put a limb here, partner? What is this? Look at how news entities in this country are compromised by. Now I showing y'all, here laugh. Me story this morning, me story this afternoon and tonight is against the Mohameds. So I got my bias I come with. But watch it, so I show you all what they were. I read the thing, you read the same thing, I read it over and over. I give you me explanation. I Google what transaction mean, what support mean. I Google everything. And me, you doing it. Imagine Stabroek News got a story. No need to close accounts of persons associated and dash OFAC. Where did OFAC say that? Then guy in hyphenated thing. Right? Here laugh. You see this hyphenated, this is what OFAC actually say. Let me read it over again and make sure me getting this fucking thing because I'm getting excited. Right? As you noted in recent correspondence to the Office of Sanctions, Mohamed, which builds upon the implementation of the Magnitsky Rights Accountability Act, the implications of transactions with political party led by sanctioned individuals sanctioned by OFAC or with members of such party would depend on whether the sanctioned individuals involved in the transaction. It said. They took that and said, no need to close account of persons associated with sanctioned individuals. What the fuck is this? This is a fake. This is a real Kaieteur. This is a real Stabroek newspaper. Page, you check it to see if it's a real page or it's a fake page. This is a fake page, man. This can't be Stabroek News page. This is a fake page. This got to be a fake. How the fuck they come up with a header like this for the story? What part OFAC said that? Watch in this document what OFAC actually said. If there are particular facts scenarios at issue, we encourage the relevant financial institutions to reach out directly to OFAC through the OFAC compliance hotline. Please be advised that OFAC will not direct any entity to conduct activities that undermine its policies and procedures. In the document, they say OFAC will not. And Stabroek News put up, I can't make up these things, no need to close accounts of persons associated with sanctioned individuals. What is this? I can't make up these things. Stabroek News went out on a fucking limb and write a fake story in favor of Mohamed. I can't make up these things. This is crazy. This is madness. Now I want to share something here. Somebody bring a point. Now let me alone tell y'all. Let anti-government liar tell y'all. This is what Timothy Jonas said.
The running of a private money-making institution is not the same as the
You are there? Newsroom story. OFAC will not direct banks to conduct activity that undermine its policies. Them banning write a story based on the thing, you know, Stabroek News and Kaieteur News went out on a fucking limb and write a wrong story in favor of Mohameds. I want to know how they're getting money to them. When I find out how they're getting money to them. Wow. I can't, you're good there? I can't hear. This is what anti-government attorney said it. Not anti-government in a bad way. He find issues and he has a different opinion of what he think government should be like. This is what is his opinion. On a program that paid for by Mohamed, by the way. Nohar has tried to twist things and turn things because one of Mohamed's advisors is one of the founders for this website and everything here, GlobeSpan, Charles Sogrim. So Nohar, what did he? He know that down on the arms and the knees, all fours. Basically blowing for the Mohameds.
running of a private money-making institution is not the same as the running of a government institution. A government needs to be fair because a government represents the people. A money-making institution doesn't need to be fair, it needs to make a profit so that it can pay dividends to its shareholders. And in order to make a profit, it has to provide a service that is better than its competitors and more efficient than its competitors. So I disagree with Vincent when he talks about transparency. Because if there was transparency, then poor Colonel Saunders would have to share the recipe for his chicken, and all his competitors would then be selling just as good chicken as Saunders is. DDL would have to give the recipe for the best rum in the world, and all their competitors would then be selling the best rum in the world just like them. So in a private institution, there's no transparency. There's a competitive approach to try to do better than your competitors so you make more money than them and you pay more dividends to your shareholders. Now, Ravi Dev made another point. He said that the rules of the Americans are not granular, is the word he used. There's no hard and fast rule that in these circumstances you will be sanctioned, in those circumstances you won't be. There's no hard and fast rule that if you allow these people to bank in your institution, you will run into problems, but if you allow this other set to bank, you will not run into problems. It is a matter of interpretation and subjectivity of the people in charge in the states who are implementing the system. So us here, the little people, we don't know. And we're minuscule, as Ravi Dev points out, $1 trillion business, $1 trillion economy in Russia. The Russian banks are sanctioned. So you say to a money-making institution, a bank that has to make a profit, not just that you disagree with them in deciding that they don't want to take a risk of continuing to allow people to bank with them that they think might expose them to ostracism from the American system. You want to say you condemn it. And I got to say nonsense. And I'll tell you why I say nonsense. Guyanese, more and more, are understanding the global economic village. You got credit cards. Everybody in this forum got a credit card. Look at it. It says Visa. It says American Express. Look at your debit card. It says Visa. When your family abroad sending money to you, they send money through the correspondent bank that GBTI or Demerara Bank or Republic Bank or Scotia Bank has abroad in the States. That's where the money comes from. And when you want to send money away, or you want to go and shop on Amazon, or you want to go online and buy something using your credit card or your debit card, your bank has to make that request to the bank in the States, to the correspondent bank in the States. So the day your bank in Guyana loses that relationship with the correspondent bank in the States because they allowed a Mohamed, Azruddin Mohamed, to continue to bank with them, or an associate of Mohamed, or an associate of an associate with Mohamed, the day Republic Bank, GBTI, Demerara Bank, Citizens Bank, any one of the local banks is punished because it has a customer and has not let go of that customer, you can't go on Amazon and shop anymore. You can't use your Visa card anymore. You can't use your American Express card anymore. And the next day that bank collapses financially. So when a bank that is competing with other banks has to make a commercial decision, what do I do? We got these people banking here with us. 10 people, 20 people, 100 people. But we got 20,000 other customers. All of them with credit cards. All of them want to use it, their credit cards, their debit cards, want to send money abroad, bring money in, want to do business, buying from merchants abroad to sell. What do we do?
Just to explain to you to some extent, just like how the banks are assessing risk in the future, the possibility of somebody coming, they're assessing banks they're associating with. So banks saying, I know evidence, will calculate, like, them man got 5, them man got, like, people calculate, Republic Bank still got some Mohamed campaign people and stuff, and the bank outside hear about it and calculate, no, they make no sense, lock them off. Stop doing business with the bank. They're waiting for no transaction happen. You understand? Your financial obligations as a bank is to be able to foresee problems coming. Not get the problem because you got fines to pay. If it is found that people do things inside your organization, you got fines to pay. Here it is.
We say, oh, we are going to take a chance to destroy ourselves and destroy our shareholders? Or are we going to let those 10, 20, 100 customers go to ensure our continuity and ensure our competitiveness? Speaking for me personally, I would feel very, very aggrieved if my bank took a chance on my money, on my credit card, on my Visa, on my debit card, and kept a customer who is associated with a sanctioned person, so that they lost their correspondent banking, and suddenly all my cards went to naught. Suddenly I couldn't have those facilities anymore, knowing full well that that bank would immediately become an economic disaster. It would go bankrupt. There would be a run on the bank. Yeah. Because everybody would take their money out of that bank to go somewhere else where they could get it.
Nobody's paying attention. So that was what Timothy had to say, and I'm going to put it up again. Nobody's paying attention. Although the banks have Visa card and MasterCard, it's not Republic Bank running there. It's Republic Bank facilitating US banks. So when one of them use the card now, do a transaction now, say like Odessa Primus. Take Mohamed money, put it in your account, do the card or something. She put a US bank at risk. Through a Guyanese bank. Nobody paying attention to these things. This girl, Hannah Montana, now come out. Operating with God and never knows what percentage of brain cells, if there are any. Bring a thing, but look, they got support. Kaieteur News come out and supported a story in favor of them. Stabroek News got the story, I can't make it up. We're part in what she's saying, the letter. I'll read the letter. And actually said, we're part, no need to close accounts of persons associated with sanctioned individuals. Dash OFAC. We're part of OFAC say that. Me, you know, I gonna put it out there, I gonna look for it. Me, you know, Scott? There's a different level of madness. How much money Mohamed paid him to write this story, right? Like how much money you could pay a man for watch? You imagine I come out here and telling you, no, what we reading there. This thing in mean oh fuck, it mean oh fuck? No, it's not oh fuck, it's oh fuck. Believe me when I'm telling you, I am an English major, and I'm telling you, OFAC does not mean oh fuck. It means oh fuck. I'm an English major, take it from me. Do you believe me? Well, yeah, I'm going to believe fucking Stabroek News. Yeah, I'll try with them there. Until tomorrow, keep it real.